Welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast with your hosts, the Brothers Newland. Now, let's talk toys.
And hello, I am my own best buddy, Michael.
And I'm John.
I am Raggedy Andy, because that makes sense. No, don't call me Andy. It's straight up Andrew. We are the Brothers Newland, and we're here to talk Toy Rewind. We're here to talk about Buddy Dolls with the Toy Rewind. There we go. So sit back. We've got lots of stuff to talk about this week. It's going to be a kind of a jam-packed little episode for you about a bunch of different lines that are all considered Buddy Dolls. So
yeah, we are on Toy Rewind.
We are on Toy Rewind.
Yeah,
right.
There you go.
So, all right. So we're going to talk about Buddy Dolls, but before we get into that, everybody needs to know how they can find us. Even though, I guess we talked about this at the beginning, but they've already found us. And we should also address the issue that John is sitting right here. So somebody lost internet and had to come hang out with me today for us to record. So even though people
I know that
already
feeling,
right.
Yeah.
Hey, so John, where can people find us?
All right, so check our website out, toyrewindpodcast.com. Email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Look us up on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. All of it's Toy Rewind Pod. Facebook and YouTube are Toy Rewind Podcast. Then we do our streams for our Toy Box Showcase to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.
Sorry, you can't read it all.
Yeah, I can't read it.
It's in a small window.
Used to my bigger screen. And then our podcast bingo at podcastbingo.com/Toy Rewind. Thank you, Andrew, for setting that up and keeping it going. And then look out for our collector showcases with our buddies over at Geek Together channel.
And we have an upcoming collector showcase coming up in the next couple of weeks. So be sure you follow us on those socials, follow Geek Together, and you'll know when that's coming up. I need to touch base with Damien on that. So, yeah. All right. Let's jump. Wait, do we want to talk about what we're going to do on that showcase?
We can, yeah.
We can. All right, we're
kinda,
talking.
yeah.
Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Charlie and Randy, the guys who put on the Dusty Attic Toy Show, and we're going to talk to them about what it takes to put together a big toy show like that. So,
yeah, so
basically, and they're big collectors too, diecast collectors and pop collectors and figure collectors, and I know Randy's got a lot of Godzilla stuff and other stuff like that too. So he's a big collector of all kinds of things. So they're both good buddies of mine, and they do a really good job with this toy show, especially bringing it back after all the COVID mess we just went through. But I think it's bigger and better than it was before. So they've done a great job putting that together.
We had a lot of fun when we were there. So, and you'll expect us to see us there back pretty soon. So now we have a banner. John gave me the banner, by the way, over there, Michael. We got to give it to you. So
I gave it to him, not to get it for me.
So all right, let's go. Let's jump into our fun for all question. This one's kind of cool. I like this one. It's kind of fun for me. But what is your go-to Disney animated film? So if you're just hanging around the house, you don't have anything to watch, you're doing other stuff, you're just going to turn something on for noise, or you just want to turn something on to watch it, and you decide you're going to watch an animated film. What is it? What is your go-to Disney animated film? So Michael, you can't pick Goonies, you can't pick Star Wars, can't pick any of those other, I guess the Goonies aren't Disney, but you can't pick any of those other ones. It's got to be animated. And John, animated. Don't forget that.
Right.
That's the big part. Animated.
I'd either have, if I did something like that, I'd either have Robin Hood or Jungle Book, one of those two.
Two classics. Two really good classics. I love both of those are really good. But that
I like the music style of both of them, and it's just brings me back memories. Yeah.
John.
We go through and search the Disney Channel a lot, anyways, and watch them. And Megan's on a trip of where she's watching a bunch of the older ones and newer ones and whatnot. But I would probably have to go with Cars. Wait, is that it?
Yeah, I mean it's Pixar,
Pixar, yeah.
and it's animated, but Pixar, I think the.
But any of the older, I mean, I'm with Michael on Robin Hood's a good one. Tarzan,
Sword and Stone would be a good one too.
Sword and Stone.
Sword and
It's all
Stone.
back,
If I wanted to
70s
watch one of the
type
older ones.
eras.
I personally like to kick it. I got two, and they're completely different. So the Black Cauldron, I love watching the Black Cauldron.
Yeah,
it's a great movie. The kids watched it with me not too long ago, and they were like, "What is this?" And then the second one is a Goofy movie. Love that movie. It's great. The whole power line dance. I know it's become pretty big in like TikTok and all kinds of stuff lately. So it's those are my two favorite. I love those two. So actually, I need to go watch Goofy movie now.
another good one that's kind of forgotten, lost back in the time is Aristocats. That was a pretty good one
The
too.
Aristocats, that one is a pretty good one. And those are like in the 70s, aren't they?
And the Rescuers, I like the Rescuers.
The Rescuers. How many people have seen the Rescuers Down Under? Yeah. So that's when they were doing sequels that were just as good as the first, and not straight to video stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you spend a lot of time, which is what Pixar does. They spend a lot of time on a movie. They spend a lot of time on the sequel, and it's just as good as the first one. So,
really, that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head that's a sequel that was big time like that. Yeah,
that was released like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of them they did afterwards were all direct to video,
and they're not bad movies. They're just not as good. Like I guess the Rescuers, that one, it was just that good when they did the Rescuers Down Under. I don't even remember. There was a good amount of time between them too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a lot of time. You can tell between the quality of the animation in between. Yeah,
I mean, okay, here I wasn't expecting this to be this many dates. So the Rescuers were released in 1977. Mm-hmm. And the Rescuers Down Under, 1990.
I was about to say, I think it was like 80 and then 90. I think it was like 10 years, but there's 13 years in
13
between.
years. So I was thinking it was like early 80s, like 82, and then earlier 90s. I didn't realize it was 77 though. So those are really good ones. I love those. Like and then the Sword and the Stone, Lady and the Tramp. Not big on Lady and the Tramp, really. I don't know. It's just not mine.
Yeah, it's a great movie, Disney animated movie, but it's it's up there, but it's not in my.
Yeah, I mean it's a good movie. It's just not up there for me. It's not my jam. It's not my spaghetti plate.
I always catch myself, singing Bare Necessities with Baloo and all that.
That is a good one. Seeing them do that one in live was a lot of fun. Speaking of live, 101 Dalmatians is another one that I really like. It's a lot of fun. The dog howls and all that stuff, just that one's fun. Mm-hmm. But they're doing Cruella. It's already out. I don't know.
It already came out like a week or so ago.
That one's gonna be. Sorry, I'm stepping on cords over here. I had to rearrange things. So stepping on cords. So so that one's fun. That was top of my list there too. So. All right. Well, then it is time to talk toys and time to talk about buddy dolls. So, Michael, buddy dolls.
All right.
That is
buddy dolls.
That's a pretty big range of things. What all are we talking about here?
Yeah, we got just several different lines we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about My Buddy and Kid Sister. And then we'll skip over to My Pet Monster, Raggedy Ann and Andy. It's another big one. It's been around forever. And then we'll talk about Glo Worm. So just those few. I know there's some others out there. We had added some extras to this as well, but they actually kind of had a bigger history to them, backstory to them. So we're actually going to break those down into their own episodes. And we had teddy bears on there, which is a big one. And then we had Teddy Ruxpin on there as well. So we're actually going to break those down into their own episodes. Yep. But today we're talking about My Buddy, Kid Sister, My Pet Monster, Raggedy Ann Andy, Glo Worm, and also what I miss, Pillow People. We're going to talk about Pillow People a little bit as well. So just some lines that have a little small history we can kind of combine all together. So
awesome.
But so we're going to start with My Buddy. Released in 1985. it was a doll aimed at boys. My buddy was intended to be a companion to for boys who were perceived at being more active than girls. He wore durable overalls. He was designed for the hard terrain a boy would drag him through throughout the day, like climbing trees, riding bikes, or big wheels. We just talked about big wheels. So any of that kind of stuff, just your everyday adventure, boys would take my buddy on. He was rugged and durable for that. He was Hasbro was the one who produced my buddy. He was 23 inches long or inches tall, 23 inches tall, and he was larger than the Cabbage Patch dolls that were out at that time that were aimed at the girls. So he was bigger. They had a catchy tune. And if I sing it, it gets stuck in everybody's head. And they came in 3 different versions. There was my buddy had a red baseball cap with brown hair, red overalls, blue shoes with white stripe, and then there was one that had a blue baseball cap and blonde hair, blue overalls, red shoes with white stripes, and then there was an African American one as well. He was the same as the brown haired one with the red baseball cap, red overalls, and blue shoes with the stripe. So amid the competitive toy year, my buddy did fairly well. Hasbro at that year had 4 of the top 10 best-selling toys of the year. They had Transformers, G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, and My Buddy, who was actually 8th on that list in the top 10. So Hasbro had a really good year in 85 and 86, with those lines. Retail was $25 for the doll.
So $25?
$25 retail. The success of my buddy didn't last long, despite hopes. Hasbro's My Buddy failed to signal a breakdown in gender-specific toys. Kind of like She-Ra failed as well to entice girls to play with action figures. So,
okay, hold on, Michael. So the
$25
in 1985. That's $62.
Okay.
Would you pay $62 for a My Buddy doll?
No.
I don't know. At that time, yeah, probably about $30-$40 now is what I would pay. But
I would, maybe
25 doesn't sound too bad, but then
I'd probably pay $25 now for one. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, you extend it out to now up to $60. What did I say, $60?
62, yeah.
$62, yeah.
That's a little higher than that, yeah.
Little high, yeah.
But I mean, hey, they sold, yeah.
But even with the not lasting very long with Hasbro, their subsidiary eventually came out with another one, Play School. They continued manufacturing my buddy into the 90s, but they didn't have separate clothing, so the clothes that he wore, his overalls and everything, were sewed onto the doll itself to save a lot of the price and stuff like that. So, but like I said, they continued. Play School continued up into the 90s producing it. Today, the overall clad doll is mostly remembered as a model for Chucky from Child's Play horror franchise. So
I was about
that's
to get into
something
that.
else that's out there. Yeah. So
he even has the little tag that has his name on it, but it says My Buddy, but his says Chucky.
Yeah, this is Chucky on that. So, another thing Hasbro did as well. They had a kid sister, which was pretty much the same, except it was a girl geared towards the girls. Their slogan, the My Buddy slogan, real quick, was a real pal for the boys. And then kid sister slogan was a true friend. They had a couple of versions of this. They had a blonde hair, an auburn hair. There was also an African American one. They had a blue shirt with white overalls, and then pink shirt, or blue and white overalls and pink and white overalls are the 2 different overalls they had for them. So they also had a version of them that had the eyes that open and shut as well. I know the kid sister, when you lay them down, their eyes would shut like they're sleeping. The boys had some of those kind of eyes as well. So, but
all right, I have a picture I'm going to show here of this.
Okay.
So if you're watching the live, so here's a picture. This is a My Buddy and a kid sister together.
Yeah.
The My Buddy, fine, whatever. That kid sister, doesn't that face look like Michael Myers?
I think it's the dark eyes on that. Yeah,
It may be the complexion compared to like the fabric of the body. It's obviously different there. But yeah, that face just looks like Michael Myers to me. Just had to show that.
But
the same price?
Yeah, I think it was the same price.
Okay. That makes sense. They're basically the same doll, just two different, is it one line, just same company, all good stuff.
The kid's sister was a few inches shorter. Like I said, the My Buddy was 23 inches tall. Kid's sister was around 20 inches tall. So there was a few, just a little bit variation in that. So,
how many sets of clothes do you think Mom made for different people for these? You think she ever did? Mom,
I'm sure she may have. Yeah.
I mean, if you can change the clothes on these, it makes sense that Mom back in the 80s was making clothes for somebody to put on these.
But the clothes were sewn onto the bodies.
No. That was the second ones.
That was when Play School took over. Yeah.
But Hasbro, when they were doing it, you could remove the clothes. So the girl in here, you can remove the clothes. So
yeah, you can put different overalls or whatever on there. So
yeah,
different shoes.
So shout out to Mom. Let us know, Mom, how many different sets of clothes did you make for My Buddy and kid sister? That's what I want to know.
She made a bunch of doll clothes, probably.
Right.
I think she did. I remember seeing a lot of that. A lot of it was probably her fake Cabbage Patch dolls too that she made clothes for as well. So
it probably fit too.
Right.
Probably, yeah. So, all right. So the next one we're going to talk about real quick, My Pet Monster.
Well, wait a minute. Before we get into that, we didn't have any of these. Let's cover all the bases.
Okay. Go ahead.
None of us had a kid sister, or a My Buddy.
Yeah, we never had that.
What was that? So we never had any. But these are pretty cool. I mean, maybe a little expensive for my taste, but I'm also not collecting dolls, so I don't know.
Yeah.
If that's the right price or what. So, did Rainey have any of these?
She did not. No,
she did not. Okay. All right. So we already talked about the normal price. I'd have to look it up and see. I did not look up how much you can get these on eBay. So we can move on to My Pet Monster. I love this one, by the way.
Okay, so My Pet Monster, produced by AM Toys, which is a subsidiary of American Greetings, which is a greeting card manufacturer. He was produced in 1986. That's the same time period. One of the few plush dolls marketed towards boys at the time. Like we said, My Buddy was as well. My Pet Monster has blue fur, horns, and soft plastic molded fangs, nose, and eyes. He also came with the orange plastic handcuffs that kids could wear as well, and came with a breakaway link so that the kids could simulate breaking the chain like the monster does. The handcuffs are Velcroed, so there's not like you get locked in with them. And then the middle part, they just pull apart and it breaks apart, and then you put it right back together. So they had this line also had a few little hand puppets that went along with it, little smaller versions. You had a Gwonk, a Rourke, and I'm trying to read my handwriting on there. I don't remember. Hold on, I got right here. Let's see. So you had. Well, I thought I had the names here. But anyway, they were.
Too,
yeah, I've got it right here. I just got to find the names. It's not telling me the names.
Of course, it's not.
And I'm just wasting time here trying to find this.
So these blue monsters, how tall were they? Because these things, they look like they're smaller than they are because the way they sit.
The just my pet monster,
Yeah.
or the other smaller
No,
ones?
my pet monster.
My pet monster. He was probably a good about 20 inches or so as well.
Because he has longer legs than usually when he's kind of scrunched up together, his legs are covered up. He doesn't look very tall, but then his legs are a little longer than they look.
Yeah. The name of the hand puppets were Rogster, Gwonk, and Rark. And it's just a small little monsters that you could had a little pouch you can put your hand in and where you can move his mouth like a hand puppet. So that's what they were. And I've got a picture here. Let me see if I can share it with you guys.
Now, John, I remember you mentioning something on another podcast. Is this one of your favorites?
I love these things. They look so cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got. Yeah.
So.
But I do remember some of the cartoon too.
The cartoon.
Yeah, there was a cartoon that came along. It had 13 episodes, I believe, on the cartoon.
Puts the handcuffs on them to turn them into a plush doll.
Yeah. They also had another version of him. It was a purple version with a different face. He was called My Football Monster. He came with American football hat and jersey. That's what he wore. But he was kind of a little bit different looking guy here. He was more of a purple color than My Pet Monster, which was blue.
The fangs go the other way too.
Yeah, his fangs go up instead of down. So.
Okay, so how much do these sell for? Do you have a price on these?
I don't.
I don't think I saw a price either.
Let's see.
Yeah, I never saw a price on these.
I mean, because you can get them on eBay. I was looking at them. These are pretty pricey. Anywhere from 100, actually 150 and up. The smaller ones you can get for $100-ish, or you need a pair of orange cuffs. You can get those for $50, just the cuffs themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So these are pretty pricey. And then the My Pet Football Monster, about 170. I see one for 170. That's the only one I see on here.
Really, the only size I see is one that was just it was a redesign and re-released by Toy Max in 2001. It was a 22-inch talking My Pet Monster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was about to say, I saw one of those. Yeah. So I think
he was just a little bit bigger.
One of those sold on eBay for somewhere around $400, and I was wondering, but that makes sense if it was talking.
Yeah.
As to why a new one would sell for that much.
Yeah, I think the original one's like 18 to 20 inches, somewhere around there.
It's not too bad.
No. All right.
These things are pretty cool. Did you have one, John? I don't know if you had one or not.
I don't remember. I remember seeing one, and I don't know.
One of you guys had one. I don't remember who.
It's probably me.
It's probably John. I remember them being around. I just don't remember.
We had one, but it wasn't mine. So I think it was John's, if I remember right. Yeah.
That would make sense. John likes them. I mean, I think they're cool. I like them too. Yeah. But, so. All right. Are we moving on?
Okay. So, yeah. So we
do you have any more on? Do you have any more?
No, that's really all I've got on this. Like I said, these little, that's why I kind of grouped them all together, is because they all have little short histories. I think the biggest history we've got coming up is the next one we're about to talk about. So
let's push it to last. Let's push that one to last.
Okay, you want to do this one last? Okay, we'll go. So
you want to jump to Glo Worm?
We'll jump to Glo Worm real quick. It's a short little history. It's not much to it. I couldn't find much information, just a little bit backstory or what exactly it is. So Glo Worm. It was designed by Hasbro's Play School division. Glo Worm was introduced in 1982. The stuffed toy had a pajama worm body and contained a battery-powered device that, when squeezed, would light up the toy's vinyl head from within, creating a soft glow. it was such a success that Hasbro released a musical Glo Worm and storybooks, nightlights, videos, and other merchandise. These continued until through the early '90s that they continued to producing the original Glo Worm.
Yeah, and these have actually hit a lot recently. Also, I know there's a remake out there, and there's a lot of people I've seen talking about these in the past few years that I know are too young to know the originals.
Yeah.
So
now they also came out. It was such a big thing. They also came out with other Glo Worm based toys. They had the Glo Friends, which were little. They might have been a little glow in the dark type plastic figures that came out later. We'll talk about them later on or whatever. But it was but the main one was the Glo Worm. I think if I remember right, Wendy's had also had a thing in their kids meal where they had Glo Friends in there as well. But no, Glo Worm was the first one, and for like I said, 1982. I had one. I remember having one. I think we kind of passed it around, or we had multiples. But
I have one in this house somewhere.
Is it a?
It's
hard face. Or
it's a hard face. It's Briney's original, and it's I think Evie has it. But there's one in this house somewhere, or at least there was. I saw it when we were in Denver. I assume it's still here somewhere. So
they said the faces were too hard and we're hurting kids.
I mean, you fall asleep and you roll over and you whack your head on one of those things.
Well, then they said once the chemicals they put in to soften the plastic was bad for you too.
Yeah,
so
kids to eat.
So they're afraid kids were eating them, and I don't know why you would be eating the Glo Worm's face, but it's not like it's on the bottom of a tequila bottle or something. But
I mean,
anyway,
right.
It was just crazy. So they said. So they totally said they can't make it anymore because of the chemicals they put now. Now I know all the new stuff they got now is like chemical free and stuff like that. But
yeah, the new ones are all chemical and they're all pretty safe. We just need I don't know. I think the Glo Worms are pretty cool. They are kind of an interesting thing. You've got it's a nightlight and a doll kind of all at the same time.
Yeah.
So we definitely had, like I said, we definitely had at least one, if not a couple. And these things are pretty collectible. But interestingly enough, they're not too hard. Like finding one for a good price that's still in the box is where you're going to pay the most out of something. The Glo Worms themselves, if they're used, then they're not going to be as expensive, but I mean, they're still pretty cool. Like most of them, like I said, the one we have is a hard face and it's green. It's one of the green ones. And I assume there's so many different things on like running through eBay that are pretty much all the same. And, Funko just released some pops that are that, like I said, it's become a pretty big thing recently.
The vintage
the
toy
retro
line,
toy or whatever it is.
Retro toys, that's it. Yeah. They've got the Glo Worm in it. And actually Rainey's got one of those, and she has, I think I don't know if it's her original one, but she does have a Glo Worm somewhere here stashed away. Yeah,
I was about to say, I feel like Rainey would have one also. So
yeah, and this is another one that had a cartoon series with it as well. It actually had 26 episodes to this one. So
yeah, so they had
a lot of toy lines back in the 80s had some kind of cartoon. It also had a series of books with them that kind of highlighted each different one for the Glo Friends as well. But yeah, so I mean, it was a big deal back in the 80s on this one as well. So
a lot of fun with these. Okay, so now we want to move into Pillow People.
Pillow People, yes.
Pillow People, yeah. Let's go into Pillow People because this one is another interesting one to me.
Yeah, this was kind of interesting. I did remember. I guess I never realized the name of this toy line or these dolls. until I looked them up and I said, oh, okay, I recognize these. But Pillow People, it's a rectangular stuffed pillow toy, like a pillow. It had faces that were printed on the front of the pillow. Had stuffed hands and feet attached to the body. The line started in 1986 by Penny Eckstein Liberman, and then produced by Spring Industries and later by PCE Marketing. Popular during the last of the late 80s, early 90s. This thing generated $120 million in sales. And then the line featured an array of different characters in it. You had Mr. Sandman, you had Pillow Fighter, Punky Pillow, Mr. Thunderclap, Sweet Dreams, Rockabye Baby, Big Footsteps, Squeaky Door, Window Rattler, and then Crybaby Giggles. Those were the original line. They had went on and also did some pets as well, some animals. You had like Drowsy Dog, Little Bo Peep, Little Sleeper, which is a cat, and you have a Hug-A-Bear. And then also there was a dinosaur-looking character, dragon-looking character called Dinah Snooze. It actually had a long neck, and it could be folded up into a pillow. And let me show you. I got a picture of it right here as well. So, but it was a pretty cool little, companion. When you go to bed, you got something to snuggle up with.
You got something to roll over in the middle of the night and see and scare the crap out of you.
Yeah, they are kind of creepy looking. Some of them are. You got Jill College, Joe College. Those are some others. A lot of school kids. Thunderclap kind of looks like the bad guy off of Care Bears there.
He does, yes.
Yeah.
The window one. The window one.
Yeah.
What's that one?
Window Rattler.
Window Rattler. Okay.
Yeah.
This looks familiar to me.
But
that one specifically.
it was on Full House.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I was about to ask if anybody
DJ's
knew any
favorite.
pop culture on this. Yeah. It was actually given to on the TV show. One of the episodes, they gave her this pillow for her. Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's why it looks. I was just like, that one looks familiar because I don't think we had any of these, did we?
No, we did not. No.
None of these. I mean, they don't look familiar to me as having them. Just seeing them in different things. I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that's what these were called either.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a big pillow with arms and legs on it and a face printed on the front of it. So.
Very.
And they are pretty good size. They're around 20 inches for the pillow itself, and then you add the leg length as well. So, and there was some smaller versions that were about 5 or 6 inches long as well. So, all right. So that's Pillow Pets. Like I said, there's not much information out there with them. Just kind of who started it and who produced it and stuff like that. So
yeah. All right. So now we have the bulk of the meat of this episode. The best.
Well, it's got the biggest
made.
history on these. Yeah.
No, just flat out the best Buddy dolls ever made. Okay.
Yeah, and Andrew's pretty close to this one here.
Yes.
So we've got Raggedy Ann and Andy.
Raggedy Ann and Andy.
Raggedy Ann and Andy. Now, I noticed a couple of these that we talked about were Hasbro. This one ended up at Hasbro at one point in time and then moved on to another one here in the past 15 years or so. But it took a while to get to that point. But they did go through Hasbro's doors and back out. So, but Raggedy Ann and Andy, they were created by American writer Johnny Gruelle. That appeared in these appeared in books he wrote and illustrated. Raggedy Ann and Andy are rag dolls with red yarn for hair and a triangle nose. Raggedy Ann was created in 1915, so they've been around for a very long time. Over 106 106 years now.
Yeah.
Where we're at now. So it was a doll created in 1915 as a doll and introduced to the public in the 1918 book Raggedy Ann Stories. In 1920, a sequel to that book, Raggedy Andy Stories, introduced her brother Andy to the scene. Gruel established a merchandising agreement with P.F. Volan Company, who was his primary publisher for the books, to begin manufacturing, selling, and promoting a mass-produced version of Raggedy Ann as well as Andy. He wrote, Johnny Gruel also wrote several other books and stuff. So this was his main publishing company that published all his books and stuff as well. So the P.F. Volan Company's initial order of 24 dozen dolls from the non-breakable toy company, which was who was actually producing the toys. It was the doll's early manufacturer, increased to about 3,200 dolls within the first 8 months. So they were putting these dolls out to support the book, is what they were doing. And then the dolls were so popular that they had to order even more dolls to sell. So, Gruel actually gave Volan, P.F. Volan Company, exclusive rights to manufacture and sell the dolls as long as they remain an exclusive publisher of his books. So as long as they were their exclusive publisher, they had the exclusive rights to Raggedy Ann and Andy.
Yeah, they didn't care what he did with the dolls as long as So they got to publish books.
Yeah. So and Johnny Gruel, he passed away in 1938. But the dolls were so big, they actually grew and grew throughout the years. So by the end of the 1940s, Raggedy Ann related books exceeded 7 million copies. So that's how popular Raggedy Ann was. Knickerbocker Toy Company began producing the dolls in the early 60s. And then they were the ones who were later acquired by Hasbro when they went out of business. So that's how they ended up with Hasbro. So, but like I said, these two dolls, Raggedy Ann and Andy, have been around, like what we say, 106 years now. Raggedy Ann has.
Yeah.
Andy's been around just a little over 100 years. And it's just they're ingrained in the American culture, pop culture, throughout all these, the past 100 years. So if you think of a doll, you're going to think of Raggedy Ann and Andy, these two rag dolls. So,
and of course, Andrew walked around carrying one forever. I know we have pictures with him.
That picture will get shared. Don't worry. It's probably going to be the cover of this episode. I'll just tell a story. So we went and took family photos.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember how old I was, but I was younger, and that doll was with me. That doll, it was a Raggedy Ann. It was not a Raggedy Andy. It was Raggedy Ann. I love that doll. I was Raggedy Andy. So yeah, it stayed with me, and they tried to take it away from me, and I cried. And mom was like, "It's fine, just give them the doll back." And I got my doll, and the doll's in the photo. It's in the family photo. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's you do what you got to do when you got a little kid that doesn't want to take a photo, or I don't know what my problem was, but I wanted my doll. I love my Raggedy. I don't believe I chatted with mom about this. I don't believe we still have that one specifically. I know there have been lots of Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy dolls through mom and dad's house, but I don't think that one's still around specifically. I probably wore the crap out of that thing.
Yeah, I think it was so wore out. Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. This one's high up on my list, especially as a kid. I had a lot of fun with this one and just played with it, and it was my comfort. So, yeah,
I mean, this, like I said, this has just been with all these ones we just talked about. Like I said, it's a Buddy Doll episode. It's all these that kids would get these dolls and like Andrew, haul them around everywhere they go, whether it be My Buddy or Kid Sister or Glo Worm. I see kids. Where I work at, I see so much the public coming in and out. They have their kids, and a lot of them have a doll hanging around. They're hauling around with them. But yeah, these dolls are ingrained into the American culture, and kids find comfort in carrying these dolls around, and everything. So,
And I think that's where most of like the buddy dolls they start with, whether it be a grandparent or a parent, at some point in the life giving just a teddy bear or something to a kid to have some kind of comfort with. And then it grew into not only just being a teddy bear, but being like a doll that is a person, a baby doll or something like that. And then, everybody tries something different, My Pet Monster, the Pillow People, Raggedy Ann and Andy. It's just a storyline that goes behind it. And, everybody gets to kind of fit where they need to fit with whatever kind of buddy doll they want to have around if they want to have one. So,
yeah, a thing that Hasbro wanted to teach kids with my buddy and kid sister was to teach them about caring for their friends, and everything like that. So that's kind of what their intentions were when they kind of come out with it. It's just teach them how to care and to be friends with everybody and all that. So
yeah. All right. Is that all we have for most of the toy line? That's the history of everything, right?
yeah, that's the short history on
Okay.
what I could find on those.
'Cause-
Like I said, they all had little short histories. We wanted to just combine them all, and they're all, like I said, buddy dolls. Kids carrying these dolls around with them wherever they go. Wherever they go, I go.
Right.
That song. So
yeah. So we can combine these all into one episode, but we have to rank all of these separately.
You want to rank them separately?
Because if we ranked these all together, like it's not fair, because like I'm gonna rank based off of Raggedy Ann and Andy, I think.
Right.
John's probably gonna rank, but my buddy doll's not gonna be up there. So I don't want to average anything. I just want to rank them all separately for all of this. So this is gonna make our list grow pretty significantly for this episode. So we'll just start with Michael. We'll run down. We'll run down the lines, and we are going to combine my buddy and kid sister. Those are basically the same thing. So we will combine those two, and then from there, just so it's my buddy, kid sister, My Pet Monster, Glo Worm, Pillow People, and Raggedy Ann and Andy. So we'll do those 5. All right. So Michael, we'll start with you on my buddy and kid sister.
My buddy and kid sister. It's not really high on my list. So I'm gonna put it. Let me put it between Rainbow Bright and Karate Commandos. We'll put that at number 10.
So number 10,
my buddy. Yeah.
All right. Wait. Between Rainbow Bright. Okay. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. Sorry. Pushes Karate Commandos out. Gotcha. Okay, John.
With my buddy, he's gonna go all the way down the bottom under Furby.
Under Furby.
Wow.
All right. Well, that's a surprise to me. This one's going at number 11 for me. Like I don't really have any ties to these. Pushing Furby down to number 12.
I like Furby better.
Furby still. I don't like Furbies. They annoy me. So they're gonna probably be at the bottom of my list for a while. So
I don't think Furby will get out of my basement. So
yeah, it's not happening. So all right. So that's those two. My Pet Monster, Michael.
We're gonna put My Pet Monster. We'll put it at number 9. We'll put Rainbow Bright in between those two.
So number 9.
Number 9 for My Pet Monster.
All right. John.
5.
Number 5 for John. All right. And for me, it's probably going around. Let's see. I want to put it above Inhumanoid, so that's going to be a 7. That's what I was looking at. So okay, so 7. Now I got to make sure that when I do all this and I put all these in, I get them in there correctly in the right spots. Okay, Glo Worm.
I'm just gonna go right up the list. Do number 8 on that. So that pushes Ronin Warriors down to 9, and My Pet Monster to 10. And yeah, so yeah, we're gonna put them at 8 on that.
All right, I'm gonna make sure we're gonna have to all look at this list again. Before
So we're just pushing down stuff we just
right.
added to the
right. Essentially, that's the idea. So
there,
John, Glo Worm.
Glo Worm is, I mean, I'm gonna put him right underneath My Pet Monster.
So at number 6.
Sure.
So number 6. Okay.
Yeah, because the others went all the
So
way down the bottom.
that's what I was going to do. So mine's going to be number 8. I'm still going to push humanoids down. So it's going to be number 8 for me. So that is a matching one for me and Michael.
Yeah.
So that's a bingo square if they match. Like we can't show it here, and it's kind of hard to talk about. But okay, pillow people.
Hello, people. Let's put that right above Furby
So that's just above Furby. Okay.
That's second to last, second to basement.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
John?
All the way down to the bottom. I don't even remember them.
He doesn't remember them at all. Okay. So, and then I'm going right above my buddy dolls for that one, because at least I remember it from home or Full House. So that's going to be a number 10 for me. I think it's a number 10. I don't know. This is going to be fun whenever I try to figure out how to put all these in. All right. Now, Raggedy Ann Andy.
I'm sure our listeners are trying to figure out.
They're going to be confused. All I can suggest
is just wait.
Just go to the website. By the time you can hear this, I'll have it all updated. It'll be good. Just go to the website. And you can see where these all fall. If you're
listening to the podcast, just message us on what where you would rank these with each other. So.
Yeah, with each other. You don't have to rank them with other stuff, just with each other. So, all right. So, Raggedy Ann and Andy, Michael.
Raggedy Ann and Andy, we're going to put those. We'll put those at number 8 as well, and bump down the rest of them just that one notch.
He keeps going 8.
So everything
I got is below Big Wheel there.
Okay, so everything's below Big Wheel. All right, so it should be fine. All right, John.
Put them above Inhumanoids.
So okay, I think number 7. I think I'll remember that.
And that's just because of you. I remember having them so much.
For this is gonna be so. I got to put this at a number 5. I got to push Big Wheel down. This was when I was a little younger, before I really started playing with toys or whatnot. And I have high fondness of all the toys like Nintendo and all that other stuff more. But when I was little, and we're talking up to like 6 probably, that Raggedy Ann went with me everywhere. So it's going to be number 5 for me. And I think it'll be high. I will be sure to show that photo. I got to.
We'll make sure you'll show it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to get Mom to send it to me. I thought I had it somewhere. I was going to try to show it on the stream, but I can't find it. So, all right, so there we go. We've ranked everything, given stories, talked about all the history of a lot of things. John flipped his page. You have more notes over there? Okay. So we need to run through. Is that it, everybody, for all our buddy dolls?
I think so, yeah.
All right. I don't want anybody left out on anything. So, all right, I'm going to run through our shout outs real quick. Obviously, go check out Geek Together. We work with them for our our collector showcases. So go check them out. They're pretty much Geek Together everywhere, or Geek_together or something. So they're doing a great job over there. They're branching out more. They're doing Funko This Week in Funko on their streams. They've branched out to Robbie Sack now, just doing a whole different thing for Robbie Sack. So they're growing, and it's pretty awesome. Love to see people growing, especially in the way things are going. So check out the Average Nerd podcast, the Dorksman. They have changed. They are now the Dorksman.
They rebranded and included everybody in
everybody. Hashtag we are the Dorksmen. Yeah. So go check them out. And just so you know, over across the stream, if you have linked to any of their older stuff, like your links are all broken because they changed it on there and it changed everything. So I found that out this morning as I was trying to share some stuff. So check out the Dorksmen. They're doing some great stuff. Continually just past their 100th episode and just continuing on. So they're going to be around for a while. 3 Beers and a Mic. Check out the STS guys. Nerdy Curious, Nerd Portraits, Movie Retakes, the Totally Rad Movie Podcast. I'm a couple weeks behind on the STS guys. Is this still alive? Is the Totally Rad Movie Podcast still around?
Yeah, they said they've got to get together and do this last movie that they're doing. So.
Do you remember what it is?
I don't. Dang it.
I'm still upset with the way that Scott.
Remember.
And I need to talk to Scott about this. I'm still upset with the way he talked about Mom and Dad Save the Universe, because I love that movie. I think it's hilarious. But he was not a fan. So I don't think Larry was either. I'm going to have to talk with him. Secondary heroes, they're going through Loki, which is almost done now, I think. The figure.
I listened to their newest episode with the episode 4 recap, Loki recap. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, I'm still way behind. I've seen one episode of Loki. I'm still way behind. I got to get caught up.
I'm actually almost. I got a few more minutes left, and I hadn't finished it, but it's pretty good.
Maybe I'll try to do something.
Show's really good. If you hadn't seen it, go watch it because it's
the first episode was really good. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and watch. I've got into some other shows, and
once it hits the credits on the last one, on the fourth one, keep watching.
So there is a post-credit scene on the fourth one. So, all right. Check out Second Opinion, and then if you're looking for some nerd positivity, go check out Sully over on Twitch. By the way, I'm totally ordering me a Nerd Unite hat. I'm excited about it. Just wait for him to send out emails about it. All right, John, your time to shine even more than you already do shine. Where can people find us?
All right, one more time. Website, check out toyrewindpodcast.com. You can email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch is all Toy Rewind Pod. Facebook group, YouTube, Toy Rewind Podcast. And then check out our showcases on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Then you got the podcast bingo at podcastbingo.com/Toy Rewind. And then keep up for our collector showcases. Like they said, we got one coming up. So,
yep, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Talking to them guys, and we have another one in the. We just got to get a date for it. So trying to work out the date for the second one that we've got lined up. So that'll be coming soon. All right. Anything else we want to add about Buddy Dolls?
No.
Nothing. John, you done? You good?
I'm good.
All right. Well,
Buddy and me.
If you get a Buddy doll, specifically the My Buddy, and it comes to life and tries to kill you, it's not our fault. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. You have fun?
Now it's stuck in everybody's head now.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it's good. I'm about to have another one stuck in my head when I play this outro. So, all right. Well, on behalf of the Brothers Newland here at the Toy Rewind Podcast, play on.
You've been listening to the Toy Rewind Podcast. Follow and join in the conversations at toyrewindpodcast.com.